Greetings and salutations, friends. Welcome to the first of its kind here on the YouTube channel, a actual video game review. Now, I want to do these a little bit different than a lot of video game reviews out there. There aren't going to be 0 to 10 scores, 0 out of 100, A, B, C scale, whatever. We're not going to do that here on the channel. What we are going to do, though, is just kind of give you a little bit of information, give you my feelings on it, give you some strengths about the game, and kind of let you know if it's actually worth playing. So, if you like that kind of thing, definitely make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because there will be a number of these coming out, because, let's face it, I play a lot of games, a lot of different type of games, a lot of them all over on the Twitch, and some will be coming here to YouTube as well as some exclusives, so be on the lookout for that. Now, the first game that we are going to review, obviously, if you've read the title, if you've looked at the thumbnail, is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, the game, a lot of fun. Just off the bat, it was a lot of fun. I am a fan of horror games, survival horror games, anything with kind of a horror element. I definitely enjoy it, and it was a first-person shooter. So if that is going to sway your opinion and kind of color what you think of my review, that's fine. But I wanted to let you know ahead of time, so that way, you can have the most informed opinion possible. Now, there are a couple criteria that I'm going to be using for kind of my review process in general. Number one, fun factor. Was it fun? Simple as that. It's one of the most important things that anybody should know about a video game. Because, hey, let's face it, video games should be fun. Number two, what are its strengths? What is the game good at? What are the things where when you get into this game, these are the things that you are definitely going to enjoy as a player, the things that the game really does well, because I feel like through the strengths of the actual game itself, that's what you play the game for. You play the game for what it's really good at, because that's the type of experience that, hey, that's what you're looking to play. Number three, time investment. Now, I know for some of you, time investment may not be the biggest deal. You might be used to games like MMORPGs, or you might be in high school or college and have a little bit more free time to go ahead and spend a lot of time in games. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Take it or leave it when it comes to time investment. This is more for people who, maybe you have a 9 to 5 that you're working on. Maybe you're working on something like grad school. Maybe you're taking at least a full course load in college or beyond. Maybe you have families, that's a thing. You can have a family and still play video games. Totally a thing that can happen. Whatever the case might be, whatever your reason for having a limited amount of time, I felt this was something important to bring to all of my reviews. That way, hey, yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time, or it might not take a lot of time, or you can kind of weigh that as you will. But I do want to preface this. I don't think that a longer game is necessarily a better game. Just because there's a lot more for you to do does not automatically make a better game. Just to get that out there. And finally, number four, who am I going to recommend the game for? There are a lot of different games out there for a lot of different kind of people. Not every game is for everybody, and that's okay. Because there are a lot of games to choose from. There are a lot of different experiences out there. And in my opinion, one of the best things about video games is that there's a little bit of something for everybody, and it's important to find the games that are right for you. Now, as far as Resident Evil 7 Biohazard goes, let's start with fun factor. It's fun. Like I said earlier, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun running around. On a decent enough difficulty level. There was just enough ammo, just enough stuff for me to do some crafting with. I was able to figure out all the puzzles, with most of them without too much effort, but they all made sense, and everything was there for me to figure everything out. There were some areas that I could have definitely explored more, but I was playing the game on stream, so I did want to keep my personal pacing up a little bit. I could have definitely slowed it down a bit and found more things, read through more of the documents that were there to find, to explain even more of the backstory than was there. But again, overall, at a quick pace, the game was a lot of fun. Now, when it comes to strengths of the game, I would have to say are its balance in terms of combat, its puzzles, and just its overall factor of story pacing. It does a good job of giving you enough puzzles so that way you feel like you're figuring things out, but it doesn't make the puzzles, 15, 20 minutes long, spanning multiple rooms, and you're having to remember to balance everything that's in your inventory with things you're gonna need for puzzle pieces. It does a good job of localizing all of the puzzles. It makes it easy enough for you to follow and figure them out without literally just letting you walk through all of the rooms. Combat as well, they did in my opinion, a very good job of making it so that way you didn't feel like you were a god and could just blast your way through all of the zombies. You had to make sure that you lined up your shots, you hit what you needed to, and in some cases, and I'm assuming especially at harder difficulties, pick and choose what enemies you're just going to kind of kite around so that way you can get around them, and which ones you're just going to say, hey, I got to just go through this guy. Now, time investment. Time investment on this game was actually pretty low. I would estimate no more than about 15 to 20 hours in actually playing through the game. I got through the game in about 3 of my Sunday streams, which are 4 hours long. So again, with good pacing, and I didn't get hung up anywhere really. Pretty easy, get it done in about 12 to 15 hours. If you went through all of trying to find everything and you went for more tasks and stuff like that, or maybe playing on a harder difficulty, it would probably take you a little bit longer, but expect about that much time. So overall, time investment is definitely lower, but for that time investment, the time that you're actually playing, you're engaged the entire time. So although, again, not a ton of hours in the game, but definitely worth the time that you're going to put in. And finally, who would I recommend the game for? Well, anyone who's a fan of horror games or Resident Evil series or zombies or anything like that, who enjoys first-person shooters with a little bit of puzzles, perfect game for you. Easy as that. Anyone who wants to dip their toe into horror games maybe for the first time, this one's not a bad one. There isn't as much in terms of the weird psychological stuff that some horror games can get into. There are some jump scares, but it isn't very jump scare heavy. And unlike some horror games where you have no way to defend yourself, and it really truly is just you trying to survive this world, you do have a way to defend yourself. So it's a good game for people who might be new to the genre and are okay with some gore. Obviously, I mean, for heaven's sakes, you lose your hand to a chainsaw in the first, couple hours. So, I mean, I don't know what you expected. But if that's the kind of game you're looking for, that isn't going to take a ton of time, and you can just kind of pick it up and be able to follow everything the way you need to, it's not too open for you to get easily lost, perfect game for you. I highly recommend this game to anybody who would be interested in any of those types of games. But that is going to do it for my review of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Thank you all of you who have watched all the way through to the end of this video and seeing this now. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button. That way I know for sure that you did like this video. Subscribe if you want more content like this in the future, and to be alerted that, hey, there are going to be new videos. I plan on doing a number of different reviews. You'll see some highlight videos, a whole lot of stuff on here. It'll be a good time, I promise. Regardless, thank you for your time. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye, loves.